Park and high above the field in Chopper 4. This is KOB4's coverage of the 51st Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta.
And thanks for joining us on this first Saturday of the 51st Annual International Balloon Fiesta. I'm Danielle Tedesco.
And I'm Ryan Laughlin. Thanks so much for being here. We're really excited to be here for the 51st year of this Balloon Fiesta.
So excited that we got here before 4 a.m.
Which, grateful that we did.
I know.
Hearing about some of the problems that are happening right now.
You know, the first Saturday of Balloon Fiesta, they're always working out some of the kinks, you know, and so we've got a lot of people stuck in traffic, including some of the crew and Balloon Fiesta officials, if you can believe it.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that that would be a problem, but, you know, Steve Stucker, who we were just visiting with, says that it happens every year. Saturday, you work out the kinks.
Yeah.
So we're in a little bit of a delay here, but we're expecting a fantastic Mass Ascension.
Yeah, the weather out here is exactly what they look for, and we've been hearing Steve talk about that this morning on the news show that came right before us. So the weather conditions are perfect. They're even expecting that box that they look for every year to get the balloons to kind of come right back where they need to come. The 15-minute delay just because of traffic issues.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned the box wins. The Dawn Patrol did go up, and you know sometimes the balloons take up here and they jet down somewhere else.
Yeah.
They're hanging around here, so I think we're in really good shape for the Mass Ascension here.
That's right. Sun's coming up beautifully. A little bit of a light wind, and it is a cool morning. My daughter's been complaining about that. But for folks like Minnesota, Ryan, you're doing just fine.
I was telling some of the other guys, it doesn't take long to get acclimated to the beautiful weather we have here in New Mexico.
To get spoiled, right?
Exactly.
So take a look behind us. You can see a lot of the balloons starting to inflate. A huge crowd out here, too.
Big crowd out here. We're expecting the national anthem here in a little bit.
Yeah.
I believe Mayor Keller's going to be in that first balloon that goes up to really kick things off here, but right now kind of a holding pattern as we're getting ready for this first Mass Ascension on day one.
So you were taking a look at that drone show. They added a lot of drones to it this morning compared to last year. How did it look?
It looked great. Happy that it came back this year.
Yeah.
I think it was a real fan favorite when they rolled it out last year for the 50th. And I hear they're going to be doing mixing things up in the evening shows for the glows. So if you wanted to see something new in the morning versus the evening or vice versa, there should be something for everybody out here.
7:13 will be the national anthem, and of course we will pause to give some honor to that, be a little bit quiet as that balloon goes up with that huge flag that kind of hangs down below. That's super cool. We have a lot of great guests for you this morning. We're going to be talking about that new Meow Wolf balloon.
New Meow Wolf balloon, lots of anticipation to see what that looks like. We also are going to be looking back on KOB4. We're looking back on 75 years of doing this as a station here in New Mexico. We have some people here to talk about some of the coverage you can expect to see and celebrate, and really talk about the commitment KOB has had to New Mexico for so long.
And with that commitment, I wish that you guys could see the behind the scenes here of what it takes to put this show on for you. All the lights, all the crew, they've been working out here all week long to get this set up with the stage and the lifts so that we get you the best shots. And then, of course, Chopper 4 is up to get you those beauty shots all morning long. We're going to be on the air until 9 o'clock.
Absolutely. And we got some trivia. We have some we do this every year. It's a fun game we like to play. You can get involved at home if you wanted to skip the traffic. You can go to kob.com/vote. We got the first trivia question for you, Danielle. You got it there?
I have it right here. We're going to test your ballooning knowledge. So you can go to kob.com/vote to see if you know the answers here. Our first question is, how are the hot air balloons inflated? And of course you're saying, well, it's hot air, but is it from pumps, gas-powered fans, or the wind?
All right, so one more time. It was, how do you inflate these? Was it powered?
How is the hot air balloon inflated?
Okay, we got wind, gas-powered.
Pumps, gas-powered fans, or the wind?
All right, kob.com/vote. If you wanted to skip the traffic, hang out on the couch, have a cup of coffee, coffee, get involved with us, just head over to KOB.com/vote.
Yeah, if you're not on the road already right now, you're not going to make it in time. I'm sorry to tell you that, but we're going to have the best shots for you, so it's going to be just fine.
Should be a good show. We're expecting things to really kick off here at 7:15. Of course, main man Steve Stucker is wandering around here somewhere. We'll get him up here eventually, but should be fun when we get him up.
We need to put a bell on that guy, right? We lose him all the time. Maybe a little GPS tracking device. Get our Steve tracker. We'll check in with him in just a few minutes. First, we're going to let you enjoy these sights of Balloon Fiesta.
welcome back here to the 51st International Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta. We got Steve Stucker with us. Steve, how are we doing?
We found you.
I'm fine. I found you.
I said I was going to put one of those little GPS trackers on you.
I don't move a
Follow you
lot.
around.
You know, you go from one spot to the other. You find burritos, you find me. So.
Okay.
Although
all right.
I have not had any yet this morning. Hint, anybody?
Well, they're in the RV.
Oh, they are.
All right, so we had asked the folks watching at home before the break a trivia question, our first trivia question. It is, we know that hot air balloons are filled with hot air, just like Steve Stucker, but do you power it with gas-powered fans, wind, or what was the other one?
Or pumps.
Okay.
And so you got to go to KOB.com/vote, hit the news tab. There's a news tab that you got to click on to get involved in this
they can't
trivia.
just scream the answers at the TV screen.
Exactly. Well, and that way we can see what people are voting for.
All right, we got a lot of smart viewers this morning. They knew it's gas.
Yeah, they're like little lawnmower engines.
Yeah.
That go up and boom, they make the fan go cold air. They cold inflate first. That opens them up. Then they light the burner. Stand them up. I hope I didn't answer the next trivia question.
You answered the current trivia question, which we were going to keep people on the edge of their seats for a little bit longer,
See,
but that's fine.
That's why they don't let me come in every day anymore.
All right, look at that. We've got a gorgeous shot there.
Nice.
Is that from Chopper 4, Paul, or is that that's just from our lift? Wow, we're getting some good stuff here on the field. Perfect weather conditions, right?
Yeah, really beautiful this morning. Just a touch of coolness. Don't you love the way Balloon Fiesta starts and boom, the temperature's dropping.
Yeah, that's true, right? That is Albuquerque here. All right, well, we're going to let you enjoy these shots for a few more minutes. morning and welcome back to the 51st annual Balloon Fiesta here at Balloon Fiesta Park. We just heard the national anthem and that balloon went off without a hitch.
Without a hitch. We saw Albuquerque Mayor Tim Keller in one of those first balloons, and then the Chili flight. We just had a flyover. Fantastic way to kick things off.
Cool. I'm excited. I always kind of dread, well, you know, I kind of dread waking up super early and getting in the traffic and everything, and then the moment I get here, I'm like, okay, I'm excited.
Absolutely. It's a lot of good energy out here today. Yeah. We want people at home to get involved too. We got some trivia games that we're playing. Yeah. You can head over to kob.com/vote, hit the news tab. You know, the first question we had was, how are these hot air balloons powered? I think a lot of people put in their answers. 90% got it right. It's gas-powered fans.
Yeah.
That's how these things are powered. There you go. We got the graphic up for you there. 90% of the people got it correct. We got some more trivia coming up in the show a little bit later. There's the next question, Danielle.
Yeah, that's right. What are the hot air balloon baskets, the gondolas as we call them, typically made out of? Is it wicker, plastic, or metal?
Just go to kob.com/vote. Click the news tab. Vote from the couch. Vote from your phone. Vote wherever you want. We'll try to not let Steve give all the right answers.
Yeah, we're not ready to answer this one. Don't give the answer away yet. So, what do you think? We're going to have the box today too, is right? What they're thinking?
I don't know yet. You know, we're always hopeful of that. I haven't seen signs of it. Early on, I thought maybe when the Dawn Patrol went up, nothing that looks like that just yet.
Okay.
Those guys have finally drifted well to the south, and they're going to the south and east. Once the sun comes up in about the next 20 minutes or so, we might see a little bit of a change in that. We'll have to wait and see.
What can you tell me? I've always wondered, did they choose this time of year for the weather? Is this the best that it can be?
You know, there's always an argument. It's like, oh, the weather's always perfect, and then Balloon Fiesta starts and kablooey. No, over the years, over the 51 years, this has proved to be a really great time of year. When you think about it, September is often beautiful, but anybody that's a state fair fan knows we can get a lot of nasty weather in September also. And, you know, it's ironic because we always need the rain here in the high desert. Nothing like that in the picture, I think, in glancing, and I've paid almost zero attention to the forecast since the 1st of June.
Good for you.
Yeah, but there's a very, very teeny chance of rain this week. Wind could be an issue. I was a little nervous last night. We had a wind advisory.
I was going to say, the wind chimes and ristras were moving last night.
There's another wind advisory scheduled to go into effect late this afternoon through tonight. So I don't know, you know, if that develops on schedule, that could be a problem for tonight's score. And then I think we're also scheduled for the gas balloon launch later today. I think that's like at 2 o'clock.
Oh, I thought it was at 6.
Is it 6? I was thinking it was 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Launch at 6.
Is it? Okay. All right. Weather permitting.
Yeah.
It's so nice to not be blamed for the forecast anymore.
I'll still blame you. All right, we're going to let you enjoy these beautiful shots with a little bit of ambiance music.
everybody, and good morning. Welcome back to our wall-to-wall coverage of the 51st Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. We're out here at the field. Over my shoulder, you see some of the beautiful balloons, cold inflating, getting ready to launch. We have several dozen in the air, and many, many more at both the north and south ends, getting ready to launch in waves. And we expect beautiful flights this morning. Winds are very, very light, and conditions are excellent. Joining us this morning, one of the many, many VIPs out here from Balloon Fiesta. You guys have a rather large crew that works year-round to make this happen.
We actually have about 17 to 20 that are full-time, which is pretty impressive considering how large the event is. And if we didn't have the navigators we had, which are our volunteers, we wouldn't be able to do this event.
And that numbers into the hundreds, doesn't it?
Actually, 1,000. It's over 1,000. Yeah, it's great.
It's quite spectacular. People are surprised to know that most of the people with the parking and helping in all different sorts of ways are volunteers, but the employees out there stay pretty busy year-round. So what's new for you guys this year?
Well, as you know, Steve, I'm the merchandise manager.
Yeah, I got a really cool jacket from you last year.
Yeah, I have so much fun. I love what I do. I get to help and design all this great merchandise for Balloon Fiesta. And as you know, pins are huge.
Oh,
we can see.
I heard that.
Yeah. And so Balloon Fiesta wanted to do something special for you this year.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, because, we're sad you're leaving, but I do understand, was it 40 years at least with KOB?
Well, 33 with KOB, 48 altogether in broadcast.
Right, so it's pretty impressive, and I think you've been here, quite a few of those years. So.
This is my 35th year at the Fiesta.
Right, more than at KOB. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I started the year before, yeah.
Well, we wanted to do something extra special for you, so we have designed and created a Steve Stucker pin that we would love to give you.
Oh my gosh, let me see that. Can you get zoomed in on that? Is that my Harley Davidson?
It is your Harley. I think we know you just a little bit.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. Oh.
And so we have a nice, it does. And so that one's number one, just for you, of course. You better hold on to that one. There are more than one. I have a nice little set here for you that you can give away. You can do what you want to with them.
Wonderful.
And if somebody really wants a pin, they don't have to come find you. They can go pick one up at Plano Pin here on the field. They've got some too.
My friends, Diane Carlson and her daughter Britt Lee.
Right.
Wow.
But we really, we thank you so much. You have brought so much positivity and fun to New Mexicans, to children, to families, and we really appreciate everything you've done.
Well, the pleasure is all mine. I love promoting this event because I think it's just wonderful. It's great for our community, our state. I love seeing people come in from all over the world and just having fun. It's just such old-fashioned family fun, and gosh, I just can't think of anything better. Now I've got a pin with me on my Harley.
You got it. You can ride off in the sunset and be happy.
Lisa, thank you, and please pass that along to everybody involved in this.
I will.
Okay?
I will.
Oh, thank you. We'll be right back after this break. Don't go away.
and welcome back to the Balloon Fiesta here at Balloon Fiesta Park. We're having a good time.
Having a great time. If you're at home enjoying a cup of coffee, we're wanting you guys to get involved in the Balloon Fiesta fun. We're playing some trivia out here at the 51st Annual Balloon Fiesta. The question we had for you right before the break was what material are the gondolas made of? We had 3 options for you. It was plastic,
Metal or wicker? 95% of you know your stuff sitting at home. You said wicker, and that's exactly what they are made out of. If you've ever even seen a balloon, I think it's kind of obvious, right? It looks like a big old basket.
It really does. It's lightweight, it's sturdy, it's the perfect material. And we got some tougher trivia questions coming up, though.
Yeah. Our third question of the morning, on a similar theme, we want to know what you think the actual balloon is made out of. Is it made out of cotton, silk, or nylon?
That's the envelope of the balloon that we're talking about.
Yeah.
You got go to kob.com/vote, click on that news tab, and there's your 3 options. It's A, cotton, B, silk, C, nylon. Just head over to kob.com/vote. Have some fun. Get involved.
KOB is really excited to be celebrating 75 years of giving you the news and the weather and the Balloon Fiesta fun that we've seen throughout the years. And we have Hawker Vanguard here to talk about all the fun things we have planned.
We are really excited to kick off this morning growing with New Mexico, because isn't that a great way to just kind of put how KOB has been with our state as we've grown up with this Balloon Fiesta and everything and beyond. And Danielle, you and I are from here, so we grew up watching KOB. It was like our station of choice in our household. So we're really excited to kick it off today with Balloon Fiesta and how it's impacted our state, our economy, and it's just been a really awesome thing to capture. And we have a preview for you. We can show you. We have our package tonight at 10. Let's take a look at that.
All right, so it looks like maybe we had a little bit of audio issues on that, but it looked beautiful, Hawker.
Yeah, it was really fun going through the archives.
I was going to say, tell me what that was like, because like you mentioned that we're from New Mexico, and so to see all of our past anchors, that's so cool.
I think the best part was the dust in the archive room, right? And just
what a fun job for
yeah,
you.
just the dust. That was the best part. I think hearing about all the things our parents told us about, like 70s,
the
80s,
big events,
and just seeing all the big events. And I mean, Steve, you lived through all of that.
You're in a lot of the archive footage.
You're in all the archive
keep you in the archive closet.
You're kind of like Walt Disney. We just unfreeze you every year.
Oh my gosh! Well, you know, I moved here in '83, and go way back. You know, Bill Eisenhood, Amari Bennett, Tom Jones, of course, was here for a long time. Carla Aragon, still a great friend. Just such a sweetheart and such a wonderful lady. All the different weather people through the years: Larry Rice, Jorge Torres, Monica Armenta. You know, and it's always fun to try and go through all the different co-anchors that I've worked with over the years too.
Yeah.
One was silly enough to come to the show twice. You know who that was, Danielle?
Nicole Brady.
Nicole, yes.
Yeah.
You know, she came on the morning show, went to nights with Tom, then she started having kids and decided mornings was a little bit better for her schedule and came back again.
The mom shift, as we call it.
Yeah, I think there's been 13 of you.
You forgot all of them after I came in.
That's
didn't
right.
You?
That's right. There was never anybody but you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're back together again.
No, but it's been so much fun, and you know, the Hubbard family, I really admire them. You know, pioneers way back in the industry, and they're still standouts in my mind because they're family owned, and that just doesn't happen anymore.
Right.
And they're not a mom and pop business anymore. I mean, gosh, they own stations all over the country. I think they're good operators, and they really stay on top of things. They've always kind of tried to be on the cutting edge of technology. They were involved. They were partners in satellite TV when it first started, and that took a lot of vision and insight way back then.
But to work here, it feels like the mom and pop kind of thing, doesn't doesn't it? I mean, it doesn't operate like a mom and pop.
Well, I'll do the pop
It
part.
feels like a family-owned business. Yeah, it's a good place to work.
It's great.
Steve only does the mom part when it's mother sucker time, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
And she's out here this morning. You know, my mom will be 88 in about 30 days, and she had a fairly major surgery a week ago. She's here today. She wasn't going to miss this. Are you kidding me?
You don't have to be here throughout the week. You're just on these big weekend days, right? And then
Yeah, I'm just
Kids Day.
just going to do today, tomorrow, and then I'll be out here Friday for Kids Day, KOB4 Kids Day, and then next Saturday. And we're going to try and do 4 days. Monday, Danielle, will be the first day in 35 years that I've missed a day out here.
Are you going to feel weird?
Probably go through withdrawal.
Yeah, you're going to come out anyway, aren't you?
I'll stay home and watch Gabe. I brought Gabe out yesterday and gave him the tour in advance so he could find his way around, and he'll be out here tomorrow morning. He's excited about it.
Yeah, Gabe Salazar's first Balloon Fiesta. He just had his first balloon ride over Albuquerque a few days ago. So, have you ever been in a balloon?
Yeah, I actually took the Dos Equis balloon, which should be coming up here shortly, on its maiden voyage back during COVID when we had Balloon Siesta, if you remember that.
And then there's the new UNM balloon.
There it is. The turquoise, the Lobo, the UNM.
Have you been in a
cherry on
balloon?
top.
I have. It was like one of the first things I did. I think I saw Rainbow Riders. Scott Appleman.
Yeah.
Went up in a Rainbow Rider balloon. One of the first things I did here because it's such a big part of the culture here.
Yeah.
Hawker, I'm interested in looking back on the 75 years. You, I think, really like going through the history. Was there anything that surprised you or anything that like really captivated you looking back at 75 years of KOB?
I think the first thing I did was went back to 93, which is the year I was born. And I wanted to see how boring the year was because I was like, what could be better than Hawker being born? And I found just so many of the same stories we cover today, but told so many different ways. And that just goes back to journalism and what we do in the industry is find ways to connect with people, connect with New Mexicans, and how, you're going to hear from a mom or a grandma or a family who has that same concern with this, piece of government. And there's always some different way to tell a story. And it kind of gives me hope in my journalism career that, hey, what am I going to do for the next 10 or 15 years telling, a story that's just so similar to something I did last year.
Well, and what's cool is when we come out to events like this too, then we kind of realize how we are in people's living rooms, right? We're talking to a lot of the folks who come out to an event like this, and they know who we are, which means we're connecting with the community, and that's my favorite part.
It's the best.
Excuse me, if you guys talked about this when I was off set, did you find any footage of Dr. George Fishbeck when he was here?
I think I did not. Somebody out-archived me, and in Cassie Foot's package, we found some new footage, and Dr. George is in there, and he's just such a, another Balloon Fiesta character who was just so excited in those early years.
Wonderful man, and he was well before my time, even before I moved here. He was a high school teacher who started on public television doing a couple little weather segments, and he was just natural and so popular. Channel 4 snatched him up. He was phenomenal here, and then they stole him away to LA, and he was a major star in Los Angeles for decades and decades. And then I finally got to meet him. I'd always heard about him. They flew him back in for the 20th or 25th Balloon Fiesta celebration. I got to meet him and spend quite a bit of time with him and his daughter, and he was even better than I had expected. Just a really spectacular guy.
He looks like somebody I would have wanted to know, for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting, too, being our 75th now. If you go back to the very first Balloon Fiesta, that Balloon Fiesta and what we see today was all because of KOB, back when radio and TV was in the same building.
It
was a celebration,
workers, wasn't it?
It was the 50th anniversary, so
cool.
I don't want to claim complete dominance over this, but it's kind of ours.
75 years, and we're back after 2 minutes.
Para mi mamita que me quita mi bombón.
Good morning and welcome back to the first Saturday of the 51st Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. I'm Ryan Laughlin, joined by Danielle Tedesco, having some fun out here on the field.
Yeah, I thought to myself, how are we going to top the 50th? And already we're off to such a great start. I think it's going to be a great 9-day stretch.
The weather, I think, is a big part of that.
Yeah.
Another part of that is the trivia we're playing with you at home. You can go to kob.com/vote. If you remember, the question we just asked was what material are hot air balloon envelopes made of?
So we asked you if it was nylon, cotton, or silk, and 89% of you got it right. It is nylon. It's actually called Rip Stop Nylon, the modern balloons made out of that. It is lightweight and very strong, which is what they need.
Tripped up 11% of people looking and thinking it might be silk, but it is actually nylon, and we are looking at a lot of it taking up the skies on this first mass ascension. We got another trivia question for you we want to get to. Once a balloon is filled, a burner is used to heat the air inside to give the balloon lift. Do you know what kind of fuel is used for a hot air balloon? Your options are
lithium batteries.
Lithium batteries or gasoline. Don't give anything away, Danielle.
I'm sorry. Okay, I won't say any more. You can go to kob.com/vote. As Ryan mentioned, there's going to be 3 tabs there. You have to click on the news tab to get to this trivia question, and we would love to see what you think. And now we're going to check in with Steve Stucker.
Hello, everybody, and good morning. Here with Shirley Jewell, who's a big part of a group that has been such a well-involved organization out here at Balloon Fiesta for many, many years, the New Mexico Quilters Association. You folks hit upon an idea long, long ago that has to do with your passion for quilting.
Yes, that's right. This is our 39th year to be here. Our organization started in 1974, and our first raffle quilt was in 1984.
You mentioned a raffle quilt, and it's a big, beautiful, cooperative design. Describe it.
Yes. This year, it's called The Colors of the Fiesta. We have 28 balloons represented on there that have all been hand-made by the members of our guild, and we get permission from the owners and the pilots of these balloons. So they are actual balloons that you have seen at the Fiesta over the years. And they've got, this year's quilt also has handmade flowers, a garland of flowers surrounding the border of it. And it's very pretty and has some mountains and a scene of New Mexico, and we think everybody is needing to come out and see it.
Just taking a wild guess that your modest description of very pretty doesn't quite cover it, because they're always spectacular. And as I mentioned, it's a cooperative effort. About how many different quilters are involved in this product, this beautiful quilt?
This year there were 23 quilters that spent 850 hours making this quilt, and then we had one person do all the actual quilting of it, putting the 3 layers together. But yeah, 23 people.
Okay, now we mentioned the raffle. Let's talk about that. Tickets are very inexpensive.
Yes. One ticket is $5. 3 tickets are $10, and for $20 you can get 10 tickets and, while supplies last, a pin representing that quilt.
I have not seen it yet. I'll run down in the next little bit. I'll take some photos and I'll post them on my Facebook page, Steve Stucker, New Mexico Weatherman. Now, do they have to be here in person to buy the tickets, or do you have any online availability for those?
They can go online, nmqa.org. We have a shop set up, so you can still buy tickets online. You do not need to be present to win the quilt. So next Sunday, when the winner is drawn, we call that person, and if they're here, we present it in person. If they live out of town, we will ship it to them, or if they live someplace really interesting, we'll be happy to hand deliver it.
Well, I buy the tickets every year. I've yet to win. I've drawn the winner for many, many years, but I highly recommend this. It's a beautiful project, and we're glad for you coming by. Thank you, Shirley. Appreciate it. And pass our thanks on to all your fellow quilters, please. We're going to take a little bit of a break with some music so you can just watch the balloons as you go about your Saturday morning. Don't go away. Lots more to come on KOB4.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're enjoying the beautiful sights and sounds of the 51st annual Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta. We got some great special shapes that you just saw. There's Arabelle, there's Yoda, and we got some trivia that we're playing with you too a little bit. We have what kind of fuel is used for these hot air balloons. You can see 91% of people saying propane, 3% of people saying lithium batteries, 6% saying some gasoline. We're gonna tell you the answer right after the break. Stick with us. We'll be back, me and Danielle, right after this.
Live from Balloon Fiesta Park and high above the field in Chopper 4. This is KOB4's coverage of the 51st Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta.
Good morning and welcome back to Balloon Fiesta Park. There's a beautiful shot of some fan favorites. Should I put you on the spot, Danielle? Do you know who they are?
I know who Darth Vader is and I know who Yoda is, but in the commercial break I said, so tell me, do these two hang out in the movies or are they friends?
It's a good guy, bad guy. Just make it easy for you. But those are a couple of the favorite special shapes that we have out here at the park. We've seen a number of them this morning, including Arabelle, which I know is a huge fan favorite.
Yeah, she's already deflating.
Looks like Arabelle's going down a little bit.
Yeah.
But we got some new special shapes. That baby T-Rex I pointed out, flying south of the field.
Yeah.
Looks like Smokey Bear's just getting started behind us. Wonderful start here to the 51st Annual Balloon Fiesta.
We're not seeing issues, that's for sure. Weather's perfect for it.
Just needed people to get here.
That's right. And so if you stayed home, we don't blame you. We're happy that you're joining us this morning. We've been asking some really fun trivia questions, kind of softballs, but now we're going to throw you a curveball.
Yeah, well, first let's go back to the question that we just had for you. That was before the break. We asked what kind of fuel is used for a hot air balloon, meaning how do they use that? How do they use that gas? A vast majority of people, I think, was that 93%?
90%, yeah.
90% got the correct answer, which is
propane. Yeah, nobody. Well, 5% guessed lithium batteries. Maybe they were just trying to be funny.
Well, you were laughing at lithium batteries, so maybe they're wanting some attention. Yeah. So balloonists carry that fuel in an aluminum or a stainless steel tank. That's how they're really putting that heat in there to create that hot air effect to really get those balloons going.
That was one of those questions where it's like you think you know it, then you start second guessing yourself. Like, is it propane? Yeah. But we answered it for you. Now let's get to that tough one that I was talking about. We're asking how many gallons of propane do balloonists generally carry for their flight? So is it 5 to 10 gallons, 20 to 25, or 40 to 45?
You can go to KOB.com/vote. Click on that news tab. Pretty simple. Get involved. This one was tough. When I was looking through this before the show, I got this one wrong.
Yeah, I'm not even going to venture a guess on that one. Coming up, though, stick around with us because we've been talking about that new Meow Wolf balloon. Hey, there's a clock from Beauty and the Beast, but the new Meow Wolf balloon is pretty cool, too. There's an optical illusion, and we're going to be talking to the folks behind the design on that. But first, we want to let you just enjoy the sights out here. welcome back here to Balloon Fiesta Park. We have a really cool guest right now. We have Julie Heinrich with Meow Wolf. A lot of anticipation building, overseeing what's Meow Wolf going to do. What is Meow Wolf's take on a hot air balloon? And you guys did not disappoint.
Oh, Danielle, you're absolutely right. People have been asking us for years, when's Meow Wolf going to be at the Balloon Fiesta?
Yeah.
And we're finally here. Our first year, we've been working on this balloon for the past couple of years. And I have to tell you, such great energy in the crowd.
Yeah.
Watching families and children and some of our biggest fans show up for this inaugural launch at the Balloon Fiesta.
So did you say years?
We've been talking about we've been talking about this for years. Yeah. So happy to be a part of this iconic event.
Let's talk about the design. There it is.
Sure.
We've got a great shot there, up in the air. So obviously the balloon is doing what it's supposed to do, but the design is really cool.
Yeah.
And I think we expected something like an optical illusion, and that's what you did.
You're absolutely right. I think the design is a testament to the incredible talent and creativity that we have here in New Mexico. It was designed by one of our New Mexico artists who works for Meow Wolf, Jeff Hampman, and it's intended to be a little bit of an optical illusion when you look at it.
It is. You can it looks like it's kind of waving, right?
Waving and moving. The first balloon dedicated to interdimensional travel.
That's so cool. And so, do you anticipate another balloon, or is this going to be kind of like the sole thing here?
You know, this is it for now, but we definitely want to continue to take part in the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, and maybe even travel to other festivals as well. There's one in Texas. Of course, we opened recently in the Dallas area, are also opening outside of Houston. So this balloon may well travel.
Skyworm?
Skyworm is right.
How'd you guys come up with the name?
Well, you know, Meow Wolf is really known for its lore and its storytelling, and we talk about wormholes, and so it's just it's aligned with our narrative and approach to storytelling.
And we're so excited that Meow Wolf is kind of rooted in New Mexico.
Absolutely.
We've seen it definitely expanding, and it has had such success.
You're absolutely right. We are incredibly proud of our roots here in New Mexico. But since opening the House of Eternal Return in Santa Fe, which if you haven't been in a while, please visit again. We're changing it out all the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But we've also opened in Denver, in Vegas, opened recently outside of Dallas, next summer in Houston, and then beyond that, looking at both coasts for additional expansion as a company.
Wow.
So, but again, firmly rooted to New Mexico. We love New Mexico as our home state.
Yeah, we're going to take ownership of Meow Wolf. Julie, thank you. It's really cool to see Meow Wolf's Skyworm balloon up in the air. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much, Danielle. Appreciate it.
We'll let you guys enjoy the sights. It is definitely an international event.
It absolutely is. We are joined now by some new friends we just made. Introduce yourselves for us, guys.
My name's Nicole, and
hi, my name's Andrea.
we're just visiting from New Zealand.
That is so exciting. Was this your sole reason for coming here to Albuquerque was for Balloon Fiesta?
Yeah, so we were on holiday in Los Angeles with family, and we heard about this event, and it's so close. We thought, oh, why not come visit?
Oh, okay.
Is it your first time in New Mexico?
Yes, both.
Tell us a little bit about what you think of New Mexico.
I love it. It's stunning, and the local food is just so good. So different to anything I've had so far. Yeah.
We love to hear that. What do you think about Balloon Fiesta?
Oh, it's awesome. Awesome. Yeah, wow. It's so beautiful, and yeah, I love it.
Nothing like this back at home.
Right. Well, we've been asking the folks watching at home some of these trivia questions. We had the easier ones earlier. Now we've got the real challenging ones. And I told Nicole, we're going to ask you this question. She said, no, we don't even use gallons in New Zealand. But we're asking, how many gallons of propane do these pilots take with them on a flight?
Because as you guys can see, you see the flame comes up. That's powered by propane. We're wondering, do you think that the pilots are taking 5 to 10 gallons, 20 to 25 gallons, or 40 to 45 gallons with them on this flight? Do you have any guess?
I don't know, 20 gallons?
She's guessing 20 gallons. Do you have a guess, Andrea?
Yeah, 20, 22.
20 sounds
Okay,
good.
they don't even use gallons in New Zealand, and they got it right.
That's correct. Yeah, that's really good, guys. We can see how many people at home got it right at kob.com/vote. You just got to click on the news tab. 45%, was that right, Paul?
Yeah, 45% got it right.
So you guys did better than a majority of people at home guessing right now. This is the one I got wrong too. It was I thought a pretty tough one.
It says that they use about 15 gallons of propane per hour, and so they definitely need a lot of that on hand, especially to avoid any rooftops or anything like that. We can't get the poll to pop up, but we do have some incredible shots for you to enjoy. And Nicole and Andrea, thank you for coming on.
Enjoy your time in New Mexico and enjoy the beautiful sights here of the 51st International Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta. We're here at the Balloon Fiesta Park. I'm Ryan Laughlin. It is 8:19. I'm joined by Cody Johnson with the New Mexico Tourism Department.
Yes, happy to be here.
Yeah, Cody, thank you so much for being here. You know, we just had a couple people on that came all the way from New Zealand just for this event. I think that kind of highlights how important this thing is for so many people, but tourism in particular.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the biggest gathering of balloons and balloonists in the entire world. So it's great to see that people from across the world are going to come to Albuquerque for this particular event. This event last year welcomed over 830,000 guests.
Wow.
And generated over $200 million of economic impact for the greater Albuquerque area.
$200 million in economic impact. Because, like, we love talking about the balloons, the sights, the weather, but this is critically important to a lot of our local businesses here.
Yes, absolutely. And it's critically important for the state overall. Last year, tourism generated $8.3 billion of economic impact for the entire state. And we welcomed over 40 million people to New Mexico last year. So this event is the biggest tourism event we have in New Mexico, and tourism itself is very important for the state.
Now, it's called the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, not the New Mexico International Balloon Fiesta, but this is pulling weight not just for the Duke City, for other places too.
Absolutely. I mean, people come in for the event, but then they travel outside of Albuquerque. They go to Santa Fe. They make their way to places like Madrid, to Jemez Springs. There's a ton of other travel opportunities for people beyond the Balloon Fiesta. And shopping local is something that we really try to encourage folks to do too. That's really a big push for us this year. Try to get people to start their holiday shopping early. We're sharing information at the New Mexico True booth about some of the our New Mexico True certified business partners, which are local artisans and merchants that produce 100% made and grown in New Mexico products. We're sharing information about all of our retail locations where folks can really kind of get a jump start on their holiday shopping.
Now, this isn't just a big day, a big 2 days. A lot of the merchants I talk to say this is a big month. Like this is a huge time. Talk about the ripple effects that this 9-day event has.
Yes, I mean, people stay for 3 to 5 to 7, even not the whole Balloon Fiesta. We see people staying kind of the entire length of the event. And I think this year in particular, a lot of people know about the solar eclipse. And so I think last year was extra special because it was the 50th anniversary. This year is extra special because we're one of the best places in the entire world to view the solar eclipse. So I think we're going to see a lot of people come to this event as first timers. So it's going to be real exciting to see kind of the impacts from that.
I was going to say, someone had to be smiling down on Albuquerque to have this happen right during Balloon Fiesta, be one of the best places in the world to see what they're calling the Ring of Fire, this annular eclipse. I imagine this is going to pull people. It probably would pull people to Albuquerque outside of Balloon Fiesta, but this is going to be a big one.
Yes, I absolutely agree, and I think we're going to see a lot of amateur and professional photographers that probably migrate to Albuquerque for this event. The exciting thing is that the Balloon Fiesta Park is going to be the place to be for sure, but there are other places around Albuquerque and around New Mexico to view the solar eclipse that I think are really exciting. I believe about half of the New Mexico state parks are going to be having viewing parties. They're going to be distributing safety glasses to view the solar eclipse. A couple of the museums around town are going to be hosting their own viewing parties. So if you can't make it to the park, there's still other ways to view the solar eclipse.
And of course, our Tessa Mentis and Eddie Garcia will be out here next Saturday to bring you KOB4 coverage of that annular eclipse. It should be a fantastic view. Cody, thank you so much for your time and expertise. We appreciate you, and we appreciate you watching KOB4.
Welcome back here, 51st Annual International Balloon Fiesta here at Balloon Fiesta Park. We had asked you in our latest trivia question, how tall is the average hot air balloon? Is it 30 feet tall, 50 feet tall, or 70 feet tall?
You can go to kob.com/vote. Just click on the news tab. Oh, there we go. We got the graphic right over me. That's perfect. You can vote right now. I see some people chiming in right now at 50 feet tall. At least we got Steve Stucker in the shot. I guess that's the
most important thing. How would you gauge the crowd this year?
Oh, it's big, and coming in, we came early as usual, massive. If it's going to be traffic trouble, it's usually the first day.
Yeah.
They usually get it figured out by the second day, and it's much easier the rest of the way. But yeah, big crowd out here. Everybody seems very happy, very pleased. Weather's perfect. I haven't heard any complaints yet.
Okay, good. All right, well, we're going to be right back in just a few minutes. Stick around. Welcome back here. First Saturday of a beautiful start to Balloon Fiesta.
We got a view of Smokey the Bear just inflating. Get out.
Albuquerque has hosted the Gordon Bennett specifically.
Oh, no spoilers, Steve.
I heard you say that on the news the other day.
No, I don't think so. Your options are 3, 5, or 10. It's a really cool race. I bet you Steve knows something about it.
I have a Gordon Bennett balloon pen right in the middle of my big hat.
There it is.
And people have told me years ago it was worth $400. Now, nobody's ever offered me that much money. That was a long time ago. It doesn't come very often, I'll tell you that. We've been here 51
That's
years.
a hint. All right.
How many? What were the choices? 3, 5, or 10?
3, 5, and 10.
Don't give it away.
I know, but I'll zip the lip.
Yeah,
All right.
you better.
Steve's going to zip the lip, but just for a minute. Enjoy the music, enjoy the sights. We'll be right back. I'm joined now by the executive director of Balloon Fiesta, Sam Park. Sam, you're pointing out some of the new special shapes. I bet you know something about these balloons.
Actually, I've not seen this one here before. That sea turtle on top of that balloon, that's just incredible. That's a beautiful rendition.
But introduce yourself to people, because you're the new executive director here of this wonderful event. Tell me about how long you've been doing this.
Well, thank you, Ryan. My name is Sam Parks. I am the executive director of the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta for now all of 9 months. I took over when Paul Smith retired this past January.
But not unfamiliar to this operation, also not unfamiliar to ballooning.
I've been a balloon pilot now for 35 years, and I moved out here to become the director of operations for this, and I couldn't say anything better about my organization I get the pleasure to work with. It's a wonderful group of people.
Wonderful group of people. I think that is shown by the wonderful event and all the hundreds of thousands of people that will come to our city to take part in this.
You know, and I'm so proud when the national anthem goes off on the opening day. I can just really feel a sense of satisfaction that my team, who works year-round to do this, is putting on a great show for all the guests. We couldn't be happier.
It's 51 years this year, but there's some new things going on. I understand that there's a new sand sculpture. What is that?
Well, we wanted to provide some three-dimensional art. So in the desert, what do you have a lot of? You have a lot of sand. So we brought in a very cool sand sculptor who's going to make something quite unique for everyone to see.
That's very cool. There's also kite flying. I mean, when I think of Balloon Fiesta, I don't think about kites. What's going on there?
Well, you know, balloons need less wind, but kites need more wind. So sometimes in the afternoons from about 3 to 5 o'clock, it gets a little gusty here. So we bring out the kite show for a couple hours until the winds lay down.
Why not take advantage of it, right? Of all environments that we have out here. We also have the RC balloons. They're back this this year, and I remember we were trying to break some records last year, and I'm not sure if the weather was cooperating with us. Tell me about we're trying again this year.
We are. We have 75 of the globitos, which are little small RC balloons, and if the weather is right, and it looks like it will be, we're going to be able to break that Guinness Book of World Record for the largest mass ascension of small balloons. We're excited.
We weren't going to give up after last year, I'm sure. No. There's a lot of excitement for the eclipse that's next weekend. It's the annular eclipse. It's called the Ring of Fire. Albuquerque is going to be one of the best places in the world to view this thing. What strings did you have to pull to make that happen?
Well, we had to contact NASA to see if they could change the orbital sphere of the moon and the sun to make all that work, and they pulled it off. So we're very happy about that. And NASA's going to be here on that Saturday giving away 80,000 special glasses so everyone can see the eclipse without hurting their eyes.
So I'm wondering, is that going to be enough? Because like I'm taking an Uber or a Lyft around town, and they're like, oh, I'm going to UNM to get mine. Other places around town are giving away their glasses. Should people worry if they come here without their glasses?
No, not at all. 80,000 I think will cover us. And we also have some for sale here on Main Street, but we really want the crowds to come out and watch this. I mean, how much better can this show get than we have not only the hot air balloons, but the sun and the moon putting on a show?
I imagine the work to put this on is immense. The organization has to be a lot. How do you feel now that we are kicked off? We got balloons in the air here on the first mass ascension. Is there any sense of relief, or is it still full throttle where we got 9 more days to go?
You know, the winds were not kind to us last night. That 30-mile-an-hour winds that came through here last night knocked over some tents. So we had some stress going into this morning, but now that the sun is out, the winds have laid down. It's a beautiful morning. So we're relieved that we've got to this point where we can open up.
Absolutely. A little bit of a hiccup with some traffic, but as Steve said, it's the first day. That's how things go. I'm sure it'll be smooth sailing. Fingers crossed the weather is beautiful like it is today. We have some beautiful shots of Chopper 4 and Sam Parks joining us with the executive director of the Balloon Fiesta. Sam, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for being here.
We'll be back right after this. Welcome back here to a beautiful Saturday. It's 8:40. at the Balloon Fiesta Park. I'm Ryan Laughlin, joined with Danielle Tedesco. Danielle, how you doing?
I'm having a blast. I'm now not regretting waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
It's a beautiful day out here.
The payoff is here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The excitement is here. The energy is great. And we're wanting you to be involved too. We're doing some trivia all morning. The last question we just asked was about the Gordon Bennett gas balloon race. Going to be taking off here in Albuquerque, fingers crossed, this evening.
Yeah.
It's a gas balloon race. It's all about distance, how far these things go. The question was, is the oldest and most prestigious balloon race in the world, how many times has Albuquerque hosted it? Steve was giving us some context. In 51 years, has it been 3, 5, or 10 times? Not giving it away yet, Steve, but we can see how many people are tuning in there. We got 72% of people saying 10 times, 28 saying 5 times, 0% saying 3 times. Steve is shaking his head on a couple of those.
You gave him a clue that it isn't the annual one that we see every year, right? The Gordon Bennett.
Right. The Gordon Bennett just comes every now and then, travels to different locations around the world, and quite a prestigious event for us to host this year.
All right, well, we'll be back in just a few minutes with more balloon coverage. welcome back here, Balloon Fiesta Park, the first Saturday, off to a great start. Before the break, we had asked you how many times has the Balloon Fiesta hosted the Gordon Bennett gas balloon race. We have gas balloon races every year, but this is a special one, and it launches actually at 6 p.m. tonight.
It does. It's scheduled to launch at 6 p.m. Most people, before the break, was saying... most people were saying 10. They think 10 times we have hosted it. Steve was kind of directing people in the other direction. Sounds like it's a 50-50 split. The correct answer, Danielle, you have it there?
I have it here at 5. 5 times. A different country hosts the race each year, and the first time Gordon Bennett came here to Albuquerque was actually 30 years ago, back in 1993.
The race was founded in 1906. That's how old this race is. It's all about the greatest distance, and I think sometimes they go all the way to Canada from Albuquerque.
Days and days and days.
Which I imagine would be a crazy experience up there in a gas balloon. The most recent time we hosted the Gordon Bennett was 15 years ago in 2008. Fingers crossed for the weather to cooperate tonight to get these balloons off the ground.
Yeah, last year I think that they canceled the gas balloon race completely.
Yeah, the evenings, you remember last year, were
a challenge.
Yeah. The glows didn't happen as scheduled, but we got some great shots from Chopper 4 here. Some people enjoying Balloon Fiesta from the banks of the Rio Grande there.
Oh, that's so cool.
Hoping for a splash and dash. We saw one right before we went to the break. Obviously, a splash and dash, for those who don't know, is when the balloons go over the Rio Grande, get into the water just a little bit and take off, but you got to have just the perfect weather to make that happen.
We are seeing some gorgeous shots from our Chopper 4, so we want to let you enjoy that. Joined now by, we know this guy, that's Albuquerque's Mayor Tim Keller. You guys are hosting the biggest party of the year, and you're really excited about the eclipse, I would imagine.
Oh my gosh, this is such a great Balloon Fiesta so far.
Ups the ante, right?
Yeah, and if you can cap off, the anniversary last year, this year starting off with good weather. And that eclipse, the amazing thing is, I think unless it's cloudy, nothing's stopping the eclipse.
Yeah.
Wind isn't going to stop it, cold, snow, rain. So as long as there's no clouds, we will have a show no matter what, Saturday afternoon.
You were in the balloon going up right after Dawn Patrol this morning. How'd that go?
It was amazing. I have to tell you, it was one of those just pinch yourself moments, and also grateful to have the opportunity. But I've been in chase crews my whole life, and I've been in balloons.
How do you really?
But I've never done that, and it's amazing because what you see from the air is all the balloons laid out.
Yeah.
But then you also see everyone taking pictures, and they do the burners at the same time. It's like an only in the air experience. And so that was incredible. I mean, I never would have imagined what that was like. So it's sort of a little out-of-body experience for sure.
Yeah, during the anthem, right? Isn't that happening?
Yes. Yeah. So you take off with the American flag, and they do tell you, which is nice, you have to be careful. Many people drop the American flag, I've learned, because the bar that it's on is actually really tricky. It's like a tent pole kind of thing.
You're holding it.
And so, yes, so when you pull it in, they were like, don't be the one who drops the flag. But then they were very nice. They're like, other people have done it, so it's okay. So I got the pro tip. We got the flag in okay, respectfully. And so it was a wonderful experience.
Yeah, we didn't see it fall. Let's talk about the economic impact of this.
So this is about $200 million to our city, and that's actually the direct impact. So we know that a lot of the retail businesses, they'll make anywhere from a fourth to a third of their entire year these 9 days. And it's about 900,000 people. We like to say almost a million.
Yeah.
And so, for us, it's a Super Bowl 9 days a year. It's awesome.
And off to a great start. How are you feeling about the crowd today?
It was good today. Traffic's always tough. We know that, but it wasn't different than it normally is. And the weather cooperated. It was actually a little bit late, which was good for people if they had been waiting in traffic. And so for us, you can't really ask for more for an opening day, including the box working. So you see the balloons behind us staying right over the field, which gives people an extra long show. And we also have 750 new parking spots, so that's got to help.
Okay.
And so, we also have grandstands on the other side, on the west side of the field, especially for older folks.
Yeah, that was a new addition. Okay.
Yeah. We moved those around. We took them from the indoor track. So there's been some small improvements. The other fun thing, I know I'm kind of rambling, the burritos and coffee are hot this year. Little known fact, last year we had some electrical issues.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, is it not normally
we
hot?
didn't like to talk about it, but now that we fixed it, we like to talk about it.
Yeah, we heard Parks and Rec really, he added some flair to that. He said they're hot.
That's right.
He was excited.
He was very excited.
Okay.
That's the kind of Parks and Rec director you want. Like, he is fired up.
He's wonderful.
About the fact we have electricity working on Vendor Row again.
All right. Mayor Keller, thank you for joining us. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Balloon Fiesta Park, everybody. It is the 51st Annual International Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta. The balloons are in the air. We are off to a great start to this event, guys.
Yeah, the first Saturday. What do you think, huh?
I might come again.
We wrangled you back.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
Beautiful weather, beautiful people, lots of balloons. I have not had a breakfast burrito. Can you believe it?
Are you serious?
Maybe a record.
People didn't feed you this morning.
Not that I'm wasting away.
Oh, yeah.
The mayor's here with us.
Yeah.
We've got a great crowd. What an event for the city, huh?
I tell you, well, part of it is having you here, so I'm glad you're back too.
You can tell he's a politician.
Well, it's somebody, I was born and raised here, so I've seen all the changes and the additional pins, and you're part of the Balloon Fiesta iconography, and so we're glad you're back.
It's a lot of fun. Just can't beat this. I think it's just such a landmark event for our city, for our state. People come from all over the world, and I just have a blast out here.
Give people some advice for tomorrow if they didn't come out today and they're going to be coming out tomorrow. What time do they need to leave the house?
I suggest plan it from where you live so you can be in line no later than 5 o'clock. And if you can even come earlier and be on the field by 5, that sounds extreme, but it's better than sitting in your car for 2 hours.
That's later than I arrived,
and missing something. And if you do come early, you get in, the shops are open, there's food to eat, there's things to buy, pictures to take, and they do so much before dawn now with the laser show and the drone show. Get her early. It's the way to go.
And if you were advising even earlier.
Well, I was going to say the reverse pro tip for the locals. If you just you just want to go, you need to. We come at like 7:30, 7:45, 8. Catch the last wave. So, that's the other option is to actually, but there's no traffic at 8 o'clock. But you're rolling the dice. You're rolling the dice. You're rolling the dice. But I got to tell you, it depends, how you want to play.
I have not
don't
heard
give up.
that before.
If it's 7:45 and you still want to go to Fiesta, you got a chance.
Okay. And if you want to see Steve out here, Steve, you'll be back here tomorrow. And then again, was it next Friday?
Yeah, they've moved Kids Day. KOB4 Kids Day is this next Friday, and then next Saturday. So doing four days this year.
Excellent. Well, we appreciate you being here, Steve.
12 special, new special shapes this year for that day.
Oh, there you go, for KOB4 Kids Day. Very good. Well, thank you, everybody, for tuning in to KOB4. Joining Steve Stucker, Mayor Keller, I'm Ryan Laughlin.
I'm Danielle Tedesco. Have a good Saturday.